Well, howdy everybody. Let's see, boy, that microphone looks a little hot right there. Let me back it down just a little bit and hopefully that'll be all right. So, hey y'all, happy Father's Day, everyone out there. Pretty neat day. We set aside and celebrate our fathers. And of course, if you're a Christian, then your mind also goes to how grateful we are that God is such a good Father. He's a father to the fatherless, and He's such a good Father to me. I know that. So, hey y'all out there in Facebook land, having trouble with my iPad, is not wanting to, I don't know what's going on with that. Let me look over here on the computer and see if I can... Thanks, Brenda Foster, over on Facebook. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Facebook. So bear with us, Facebook. Also, you may be wondering where my better half is, who normally sits right here. Well, I mentioned it was today's Father's Day, so we're so thankful that you guys allowed us to move our show time back to 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, because it gives us... We're not so rushed trying to get ready for the show as we were when it was at 5 o'clock Central a few weeks ago for the last however long it's been. Well, today, because it was Father's Day, we went to Jackson. The plan was we were going to go barbecue out at the reservoir, huge, beautiful body of water there just on the outskirts of Jackson, and but we kind of collectively thought better of it because number one, it was in the 90s today, and number two, there was the threat of storms, and so we decided just to go have a nice meal at a restaurant, and they let me pick, and I'm trying to find, I got a picture of us, here it is right here, and so there we are at Mugshots, one of the Mugshot locations in the Jackson area. And they make killer burgers, just killer burgers with all kind of odd combinations and stuff. I don't like to get all the crazy. I mean, you can get a hamburger with peanut butter on it. Who in the world ever did that? But anyway, so everybody there except Cameron, who texted me a happy Father's Day message as he was touching down in New York City, actually, for his job. But there's Chelsea right in the middle, Carly Ann next to her, then Patty, then Corey, then me. And then on the other side, starting in the front, Chicho, Tomas, mi nieto Tomas, and then mi hijos colombianos, my Colombian kids, I call them, Juan Pablo and Sebastian, Corey's two teammates from Colombia. And so we had just a really nice time, and we just blew in, and Patty had to go tend to her mom, but she has made it.
Hello, everybody. And we did good because we got home an hour early, so.
Well,
you got to
it felt like we just blew in because,
yeah.
I mean, I had finished setup moments before it was time to start, you know, so. But I did, like I told you we needed to do, Pat. I have shared the Facebook video to my timeline and to the Friends of AldermanFarms Facebook group. So you've only got 14% on your iPod, and you also, hang on, you got to do this. Sorry, y'all. I had put Patty's iPad on airplane mode in hopes that it would charge a little quicker. We always forget to make sure our iPads are nice and charged up, and Patty's was down to like 11%, but mine was charged up because I when I'm able to be at church on Sunday morning, I'm responsible for broadcasting the church service on the church Facebook page, and I use my iPad to log in and make sure it's working right. So I typically have mine charged for Sunday. We just got to remember to do Patty's. But for some reason, my iPad is like not wanting to find the Facebook video. It's just like, I don't know what's the deal with it. But So I'm gonna make it work somehow. If I have, I just don't know. I don't know. It's like it's just spinning. So I have to jump over here on the laptop.
Did you put a picture up of my ice?
Your ice?
Something's on. What's this?
Oh no, I didn't.
I wanted you to put that picture up. Anyway, I had a picture of ice for you. We had ice in June.
Yeah, we had ice in June.
And that's something you just don't normally get.
Oh,
and
I don't have it.
No, it's on my phone.
You know how we talk about how things only happen when I'm gone? The critters only get out when I'm gone. Things only happen when I'm gone.
Can I cancel that?
Yeah, put cancel.
Okay. You've done messed up my
No, I
pictures
didn't.
and everything.
Your phone is screwy, and so I had to go back to.
This ain't how I wanted it.
You know how when I plug your phone into my laptop, the pictures don't show up?
Yeah. He's plugged my phone into his laptop before, and I got all of his contacts. Look how well
years ago.
But he messes my phone up, and he messes, stuff like that. Here's my ice in June. Can anybody guess what that is? Some of y'all already know, because I already told y'all what happened. Oh, let's see. Sorry, I'm not good at this, y'all, and Tommy's not offering any help.
Well, it looks fine to me.
Okay.
Any guesses?
Any guesses what that is? Some of them know.
Yeah, some of them probably already know. All right.
That was the old coils for our air conditioner. I came home Wednesday from a checkup at the doctor's office. I guess they're just now seeing it though. Anyway.
Yeah, but you just keep talking as if they've already seen it.
Oh, that's right, because they're not hearing me now. They're seeing the picture now. But I'm talking about because of the chat. Anyway,
oh, yeah.
It's a little delayed. Anyway, yep, AC unit froze up. David said it. Yep, and Teresa said it. That was my air conditioning. I came in and I heard a funny noise. You know, we have a trailer, and I can call it that because I live in it. It's a mobile home.
Yeah.
But anyway, we call it a trailer. Anyway.
It don't bother me none. Don't bother us none.
Anyway.
It's home.
So I came in and I heard this kind of like a whistling noise, and we had opened the vent up more in Tomas's room. We don't keep them all wide open because, it's just me and Tommy here most of the time. Anyway, so we had opened Tomas's bedroom because one of Carly Ann's friends had came and stayed here last weekend. And so I thought, oh, it's just in a funny position and whistling. No, then I noticed air really wasn't coming out of the vents, and I thought, oh no. So I took the front metal piece off in the utility room of the air conditioning unit. Solid ice. That's what I saw, that picture. I took a picture and sent it to Tommy. So last week it was water spewing out the back of Mama's house, and this week it was the air conditioning froze up. So our air conditioning man, we had seen him. It was so funny. I saw him Friday at the farmer's market, and then I saw him Saturday at the wedding. And when I texted him, I said, "Hey, this is Patty Alderman, the one we've been seeing each other around town." I got to meet his wife too. I said, "I need you to come out."
And he's great.
Yeah, real nice guy. But listen, y'all, he was saying, he told us, I guess that was at the wedding, we talked to him, and he was saying that, he's really wanting to come home. He works offshore full time. And have his air conditioning business going, and where he can be home. He's got little girls, and he's got his wife, and he wants to be with them. And being gone 2 weeks at a time, he's missing a lot in life with the kids and everything. And so some different things had already fallen in place. And then I called him Wednesday, and he told me, he said, "This is going to be my last hitch when he goes out again." He said, "I just really feel like God's leading me home." And everything. And I told him, I said, "Well, I didn't know I was going to be part of the financial plan of you coming home, but so."
Hey, I believe Dr. K is might be watching us on Facebook. Hey, Dr. K.
Hey, Dr. K and Molly.
Oh yeah.
So, yes. Yep.
Yeah. So she talk about Dr. K and talk about the farmers market Friday.
Oh, we had a good farmers market Friday.
No, you didn't.
Well, we kind of did. I didn't sell.
That was okay.
I didn't sell as much bread as I normally do, but I didn't cut back on what I was making, and so I had a lot left, but we were able to bless some people, so I wasn't real disappointed. I still made okay. I wasn't disappointed with the amount of money I made, but well, I went by the ER because unfortunately. We kind of know some of them. Yeah. We've raised 4 kids here in Brookhaven. We've both been to the ER a couple of times.
Yeah.
And, you know, unfortunately, we freak with the ER now with Mama. And so, and then one of the guys that works there named Bobby, he's working a different shift now, so he don't get to come to the farmer's market as much. But he was the #1 egg custard customer. And so he would get like 2 at a time. One time I think he bought 4. I mean, just loves egg custard. And so I brought him an egg custard by there before when I had one left. And this time I had bread too, so I shared it with all of them. So I think they really got a kick out of that. And then I also brought some by to our vet because they were so good to me with the dog attack and everything. I was on the phone with when I called up there, I talked, and I just cannot remember the little girl's name that I call little girl. She's really not a little girl. She's probably just 10 years younger than me. But anyway, I still refer to as myself as a girl too. So anyway, she just was so kind. As soon as I told her what was going on, Dr. Bob called me right back, talked to me on the phone, called the health department because if you remember, that happened on December 9th. And his shots were up on the 14th, you know, so I'm like, oh, is it too close? You know, his rabies shot. So I'm like, you know, is Tommy going to have to get treated for rabies, or do we need to send the head off? And, you know, anyway, so Dr. Bob was great. His office was great and all that stuff.
Which
so
Dr. Bob's always been great.
Yeah, he's always been great. Yeah, they've always treated us good. But I just wanted to give them a blessing. So I brought quite a few loaves of bread by there, so.
Patty, anyway. Dr. Bob used to do all animals, and Dr. Bob,
yeah.
I mean all kinds of animals.
Large and small.
They still do only animals. That's
the
way that sounds.
Yeah, they haven't sort of compete with Dr. K.
Nah, but so they used to do, and we had a great arrangement there for a while. We had a horn burner to disbud, dehorn baby goats. And a little box that Mr. Stump made, I guess.
Yeah, Mr. Stump made
that you could put them down in and hold them still. And I got to where I just couldn't do it anymore. It just broke my heart. They sound like a human baby screaming. And one of the vets that used to work with Dr. Bob was kind of he kind of did disbudding for people. And so we made a deal. They didn't have a burner at the vet. I said, well, I got one. Here's the deal. You keep it. You keep the burner and the box, and you can do anybody else's you want to, and you do all of mine for free. I'll bring them up and you do. He said, man, that's a deal. So they did that.
Yeah.
And
I could go drop the little baby goats off, and they'd take care of it.
Yeah. And Dr. Bob was great with livestock and all that. Well, Dr. Bob had some type of back injury or some kind of problem with his back. And he fought it for a long, long time.
Yeah, because he really likes large animals.
And
he likes dogs too.
There was no way that his back was going to recover with him tugging on these big lives. So he finally they just had to change their clinic to a small animal clinic because he said it was impossible. He thought about doing it to where other vets in his clinic could do large animals, but him not. And he said that would never work because I just couldn't resist, the urge to get in there and get my hands on them.
Yeah.
And so after that, a goat is classified as a large animal, even though they're kind of small. So
I told him, I said they're like a large dog, but he wouldn't go for it.
He wouldn't go for it. So,
but I'm gonna tell you something. He's been a phone vet for me for many years.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
That even years after they quit fooling with large animals. Patty's got him on speed dial. She's got a goat out there that's got some kind of birthing difficulty. She calls Dr. Bob.
Yeah.
But I'm beginning to wonder why she calls him. Because she knows what he's going to tell her.
I know.
Patty, you got to get in there. You got to get in there and get that baby out of there. You got to get that baby out. Well,
last time you were telling me, now Curly Ann's roommate, that just got married. Her dad's a vet, and we use him now for our large animals. But Tommy was like, do you think you need to call Dr. Bob? I was like, I hate to call Dr. Bob. And he said, well, call Pat. I'm like, no, I know what they're going to tell me. I know what they're going to say.
You got to get in there. You got to get that baby out. You got to pull that baby. Got to get that baby out.
Yeah.
And that's when I had my first experience. Because why couldn't you do it? You had to run back.
With Mama.
You were dealing with Mama, your mom or something. Patty come back out there. I had that baby out.
Tommy did good. He did better than me. You got the two we had to pull this year out.
Yeah, I pulled two out. I pulled two.
And that's Tommy's first time to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been the one that got to experience this before. But anyway, so we've been very blessed, and Sherry, it is hard to find a good vet. We were blessed when we moved to Mississippi. In Louisiana, it was really hard. We moved here and found Dr. Bob. We were just like, and he knows everything about goats, but Pat Larkin does too. He knows about goats. He's done, helps people manage their herds and stuff like that. So, since we're in a more rural area that more people have goats and stuff,
I tell you,
vets that know more about goats.
Growing up in Baker, Louisiana, as far as domestic animals, Dr. Gordon Peary there at the Baker Animal Clinic is like world renowned, or he may not be world renowned, but he's certainly in the region.
Yeah, well, he helped with the animals at the Baton Rouge Zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
he was the vet, I guess.
He had, associated with the Louisiana School of Veterinary Science for years, and I mean, Dr. Peary's the best. I mean, he is the best, but he didn't know nothing about goats, dairy goats, and people dealing with dairy goats will tell you that it's I don't know about now, but back then, it was almost impossible to find somebody that really understood dairy goat biology.
Yeah, I mean, they knew general things about goats,
of
course, because they went to school. But as far as people, really knowing a lot about goats, they didn't. In Louisiana, we would end up talking to LSU. I had their number out there at their vet clinic that we'd talk to. So I was very pleased when we moved here.
We were tickled.
So, and that's another consideration when you're looking at getting at different kind of animals. You need to see. Because you're going to have questions, and it's good to know people. I've had a lot of help from different people that I've met. A lot of it was online. At first, a lot was online because I just didn't know other people that had goats. I have, so now there's, all these Facebook groups and stuff like that where you can post questions. But it is always good to have a vet where you can get your medicine and, they can see your goats and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a very outstanding goat group on Facebook. If you have goats and you don't know about it, it's called the Goat Vet Corner. And it's very strictly operated, where if you've got a problem, you go in there and post what the problem is, and community members are not allowed to answer.
Yeah.
And you'll get, people jump on there and try to be helpful, and they'll give their answer, but the admins are going to come delete it right quick, because the idea is they've got a team of vets from around the country who specialize in goats, and they want them to answer, which is cool. It's a very cool resource.
But now they've started an alternative page too, where you can go post your pictures of your goats and share stuff there. But I didn't know about that. Yeah, the page is specifically for questions for vets, things going on. There's some crazy things. That's not just goats. I think that's.
Let me take a second and say hey to some Brenda Foster, Jonathan Newman Ivy on Facebook. I got some Happy Father's Day wishes. Thank y'all.
You got some on here too.
Kevin Van Norman and Dr. K, Jackie Jenkins, Kerry Williamson, Tank, Tim Rio, Go Tigers, Tammy Dixon. And Tank says she's pulled a calf before. Did you use a come along, Tank? Susan? I know people use come alongs.
Yeah.
We never had to pull a calf, and I know it's.
Oh, Teresa Dean, she says she's helped deliver human babies. Does that count? Oh, that counts a lot more.
That counts a lot more.
That counts a whole lot more. But I think I've learned a lot about having babies, I guess, through the goats. So I can give shots. Mama says I do good giving shots, and I've practiced on my goats. So
yeah.
And honestly, really, in all reality, if Dr. K's watching, he may think you're crazy, Patty, but because I have, and don't get me wrong, I don't like. I would rather give a shot to Mama. That sounds terrible than the goats because Mama holds still.
Yeah.
I'm always scared. And I know this is stupid. But I'm scared I'm gonna poke it in and hit the bone or something on the goats. Because and everything. But like on Mama, I only can give it in certain places. So. But anyway, I've had to do, I didn't put the PICC line in, of course, that gets done in the hospital, but I've had to give the medicine, and I don't know all the correct terms, but I've had to give the medicine through the PICC line and everything. And honestly, had I not had the experience fooling with the goats, I would have been a lot more nervous. I was still nervous, doing that with Mama and everything. And I was very careful, had my instructions written down and everything. But it did make it to where I wasn't as scared fooling with that stuff with Mama.
Yeah.
Because, we've done goats for 20 years now. So
yeah. Well, doctors practice on dead people.
I practiced on goats.
Barbers practice on balloons. Shaving
on
balloons.
Mannequins.
Well, didn't you shave a balloon? It had to not pop it? I'm pretty sure. Put shaving cream on a balloon with a straight razor and you couldn't pop it?
I shaved you with a straight razor and didn't pop you.
Didn't pop me, yeah. So speaking of critters.
We can tell people that's where that scar came from, though.
Yeah.
Make an interesting story.
I'm just going to tell them I'm a pirate. Arr, matey. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Anyway.
I don't like that show. Tomas cannot understand why I don't like that show. He finally said, "Is it because it's so silly?" And I said, "Yes, Tomas, it's because it's so
Sometimes
silly."
a little bit of silliness is okay.
That's too
So
much.
speaking of critters, look at that. Would you just look at that? Now, that wasn't supposed to have, that's what it's supposed to look like. There you go.
This is Lucy's baby.
That's Lucy's babies. Pet's got some too. They're 3/4 potbelly and 1/4 American guinea hog. Y'all.
Isn't that cute?
Would you just look at that?
If they would just stay that little.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Don't let the cuteness fool you. They're spunky. Piglet fight. I mean, they were going at it, boy. And look, those are about 2 days old. They were going at it. Look at them. That's so funny. Oh, I can sit out there and just watch them for a while.
Yep.
Hola, Juan Pablo.
Kim, you can have as many as you want. Just, we'll try and see if we can mail them to you or something. I don't know where you're at. No, I'm just teasing. We can't mail them, but we'll meet you somewhere maybe.
Yeah, $10 a piece. I posted it on some potbelly pig things, and they think I'm crazy.
You did? I bet they didn't like that.
I don't care. I told them it's a herd reduction sale. I'm overrun with pigs. Well, not really, but I need to. I'd just soon really get out of pigs, because of the way my full-time job has turned.
I want to keep Big Mama and Big Daddy.
Yeah. But I meant, basically just raising them for us.
Yeah.
And because number one, the market's not there for American guinea hog. Mm-hmm. It's too much trouble for too little money. I don't now. If we had a processor, if we had a state inspected processor here locally, that would be something different. That'd be a different game.
Yeah.
But the problem is, just to catch you guys up, for those of you who haven't heard this story, in order for us to sell packaged pork, and in order for us to take a hog to a butcher and have them package it up in little breakfast chops or packaged sausage or whatever with a label on it that says AldermanFarms, breakfast sausage or whatever, it has to be processed in a facility that is under state inspection. Well, aren't they all inspected? Well, yeah, they're all inspected, but this is different. You have to have a state inspector on site. They have to have an office there. They have to be present when the hogs are being processed in order for it to be legal to sell retail in the state of Mississippi. Now, if I wanted to sell packaged pork to Louisiana customers, it's worse than that. You have to have a USDA inspected facility where there is a USDA official there on site when the meat is processed. And the problem with us is the nearest, I used to say only, but it's no longer the only state inspected pork processing facility, but it's still the nearest. Unfortunately, I think there's been 2 more open, and neither one of them, well, no. There's one that may be opening toward Monticello, is that right? Or am I dreaming that?
We're further away than Monticello,
But that way, but not as far. Did we say it's about the same distance?
No, it's not. No, I don't think it's as far.
Well, anyway, as of now, the closest facility is in Atala County in Kosciuszko, which is 2.5 hours, and that's just, it's too much of an expense pulling that trailer, diesel. But mainly, I hate it for the hogs. You know, I mean, the hogs, they live comfortable, stress-free lives, and then they got to ride in a trailer. They don't know what's going on, and when I get there, they're standing there like they're scared to death, and I don't like that. So anyway, I need to liquidate down to Big Mama and Big Daddy. I know. I turned it. Y'all can just have to. Y'all just have to forgive us for the air conditioner noise in the background if you can hear it.
I snuck back there and turned it down up because I was cold. There's a vent right there, but now I'm hot. So anyway,
hey Susie Laird.
Hey Susie. Sherry said that they had to go to Middle Tennessee, I guess, to get processing done.
Yeah. Oh, I was saying the closest state facility is in Atala, 2.5 hours from here. There are no USDA pork facilities in the state of Mississippi as of now. And maybe the one up in one of the ones may be, but
that's
it's
up in North. That's going to be closer to Sherry up there. Sherry, there's a new one that opened up. Like right.
Yeah, Sherry messaged us about that, and we'll try to. Because I'm not. It's USDA, right? Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. It's
I don't know, but anyway,
the closest one to us is in Alabama.
Yeah, the closest one to us, USDA, is in Alabama. So if I wanted to sell pork across state lines, I'd have to first drive all the way to Alabama with the pigs, and y'all. So right now to do it in Mississippi, I have to drive the hogs up there. 2.5, 3 hours, and come home, and then wait, make 2 more trips sometimes, depending on what cuts we're getting.
Yeah, because if you're getting bacon or whatever, you got to go back later. Oh, speaking of pigs, and see Dr. K's on here, I told him, I forgot to tell his wife that. See, I need to tell his wife.
Yeah.
I told him that they can have as many pigs as they want.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. For you, today only. No, for you, anytime, as long as they're here. Yes, sir. We'll make you a deal, pal. We love Dr. K.
Yeah. He takes care of us. He's my doctor, Tommy's doctor. My mama sees him, and we've gotten. Carly-Ann hadn't seen him yet, I don't think, but my son Corey. Now that he's an adult, because of his headaches and all.
Corey.
We can't go to the pediatrician
When was
anymore.
that? 2 years ago, though.
What?
That he was still going to the pediatrician?
They all had their, when they got ready to go on their mission trips, they had to go get their thing, and so when they're 18, we had brought them in, and they're like, y'all can't come back here anymore.
Yeah, but like 16, 17 years old, he's already like almost 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And he's in the waiting room sitting on them little benches, with all the little kids walking around. And I
remember going to the pediatrician, when I was a big old kid, I mean, it's like, get to the point where you're kind of in between.
Well, I guess I don't know. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did too. But, I don't know. I might not have to go to the doctor very much after I got told I was allergic to chocolate. Y'all, let me tell you something. I woke up one day. I don't remember how old I was. I mean, I was a kid, but I was not Tomas's age. I don't think. I think I was older than Tomas. And because I was old enough to wonder if my mom and the doctor had pulled a fast one on me.
You were old enough to know how to make yourself throw up. I mean,
yeah, that's true. So I decided I didn't want to go to school one day, right? So I go in the bathroom and stick my finger down my throat. And Mom, I guess I don't know if she knew I did it, or she certainly suspected I did. So she says, "Oh, we need to get you to the doctor." And so she, we made an appointment, loaded me up. You don't need to go to school, and loaded me up, took me down to the doctor, and I don't remember. He poked and prodded. I don't remember if he gave me a shot. He probably did, saline solution or something.
No, he didn't give. I'm sure he didn't.
I don't know if he did or not, but
no.
He comes in and he says, "Well," he said, "it's apparent to me you're allergic to chocolate." Sure did. And so I didn't get, and Mom never came clean about that. I wish I'd have remembered that before she got Alzheimer's and before she passed away, to ask her about that, but she never came clean about it. But I don't remember how long, and I don't think I said, "Oh, I feel better." I don't remember how long I was deprived of chocolate, But sure enough, I have no doubt. My mom and the doctor. My mom called the doctor, and he said, "Bring him in. I'll fix him up."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't stick my finger down my throat anymore. I didn't.
Teresa Dean says, "Tell me, how old do the hogs or pigs get before they get to be harvested for meat?"
Well, it depends on what you're looking for and who you're selling to. I was surprised. Well, first of all, a full-blooded American guinea hog is a slow-growing hog. One of the reasons why in the 1800s they were the primary homestead hog of choice in the southeastern United States is one of the reasons is that they're slow growing. So which means their meat grows naturally. They're not genetically modified. They're not Franken pigs. They haven't been bred up and up and up, to grow faster and faster. And so their meat develops slowly. It's succulent. It has marbling-like, it's really not true marbling, but little balls of fat inside of the meat that just explode in your mouth. Very docile. But anyway, to answer your question, so whereas for lack of a better term, a modern commodity type hog, Berkshire, Yorkshire, whereas in 6 months from birth, to 6 months, that you can get them up to 2.25, 250, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or huge in 6 months. Of course, that's pouring the feed to them.
And if you were to do that with a guinea hog, pour the feed to them, they would just produce a lot of fat.
Yeah, they wouldn't grow any faster. Yeah. They just would become obese.
Yeah.
Whereas, so a commodity type hog, 6 months to get them to between 2.25 and 250, and somebody's going to tell me that's wrong. You're an idiot. You don't know. You're right. I don't know. I raise guinea hogs.
But it's something like that.
It's something like that. Massive growth in a short amount of time. Whereas an American guinea hog grows slowly, so from birth to a year to get somewhere in the neighborhood between 100 and 125. Now, you hear us talk about Big Mama and Big Daddy. This Summerall line of hogs grow a little bit faster, so but not incredibly so. So I'm thinking probably a year to 100.5, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
but we've slaughtered some. Back to what our question was. Are you done?
No, I'm still going.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We slaughtered some that were 50 pounds. 75 pounds. We've slaughtered some 100 pounds, 150 pounds. It just
200.
Depends. No, not 200.
Yeah,
huh?
One
of them was.
Mm-hmm.
But
one of our original 2 boars.
Oh yeah, that's right. The ones that we've slaughtered recently that we've done here at the farm, they've been smaller pigs. So 50 pounds?
Yeah,
about?
40 to 60.
Yeah, something like that. So, and that's what I try and tell people. They're the perfect size to cook whole. Put them on the barbecue pit.
Yeah. So the thing is, that's an advantage because of the meat quality, the slow growth and the smaller size. You spend less money on feed. The American guinea hogs, when they've got plenty to eat and forage, you don't have to feed them hardly anything at all.
Right.
Right now, another reason I need to get rid of them is because of our fencing situation. I'm having to feed them too much. Mm-hmm. But the drawback is because you don't have a giant hog, you typically don't get a lot of the traditional cuts, or they're small.
Yeah,
so
I think we showed them our pork chops.
I think so.
They're about like that big around. Something like that.
And that's on a 125-pound hog.
Yeah,
They're still like breakfast chops.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost no bacon. I mean, you have to have a pretty good size hog to get some bacon.
Ernie Hancock answered
Arnie.
Arnie. I'm sorry. I looked at your name, so then I couldn't say it right. I'm bad with that. He answered the question perfectly.
What?
If it can squeal, it's big enough.
Yeah, it's big enough to squeal. It's big enough to peel. That's horrible. Yeah,
I
but
don't
that's
think
true
so.
though. Hey, Trish, I'm coming to you tomorrow, Tricia. I think to drop off a SCOBY for your man friend. I think Richard said he needs a SCOBY, and he'll either meet me or I can drop it off to you.
Okay,
So I
get
may
that
just
out.
do that. I may drop it off in a Ziploc bag and leave you and let you explain to everybody what that gelatinous looking stuff in that bag is.
Yeah,
That'll
be
be
funny.
fun. But I'd like to have an audio recording of that. But anyway, so
Homesteading the Pioneer Way said, can you not have them processed what they do here? Yeah, we can have them processed. Like if somebody just bought a pig, we could deliver it there for them wherever they wanted or whatever. But for us to be able to sell our packaged pork, which is kind of why we got into the guinea hogs in the first place, is to do packaged pork. You can't do that. It's got to be a state licensed place that does the packaging and all that.
plus the other thing holding us back, just another little chink in the armor of why we're probably going to back off, is we can't sell it at the farmer's market without a refrigerated vehicle.
Yeah.
Now, the state's very sympathetic. They're working on changing that. Who knows if it's going to be this year, next year, the year after, 4 more years. I really believe that that's going to be rewritten with some type of remedy, whether it is an exclusion for a certified farmer's market or something that would allow us to hook up a chest freezer with a generator or even an ice chest.
That's
I don't
another reason
know,
we ought to
but-
get a generator.
Yeah, we are. We're fixing to get a new generator. But
Hey, and Suburban says, she said, Tommy, you didn't have to work that hard. She used to take the thermometer under warm water. And somebody said, Mountain Mama said she did the same thing.
what? Did what?
Just run the thermometer under hot water. You have a fever.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did that. You didn't even have to. No,
I
look.
don't
Listen.
remember doing
Time
that.
out. You ain't even got to. You can do it laying there in the bed. You can't. If your mama comes in and puts the thermometer under your tongue and then walks out of the room, you can't slip to the bathroom and get back. You're gonna get busted. But what you do is you take the end of that thermometer between your fingers and do like that. But you got to be careful because they'll be calling the ambulance if you're not careful. Because if you rub it too much. Because I remember I did it one time, boy, and that mercury went, I'm like, so my mom's going to come in and think I got 107. Or she's going to feel me and know see, the thing is, you got to learn, you don't need to have 107. You need to have like
99.
Like 99 to 101, Yeah.
I just, undoubtedly.
All of that was before I was born again, y'all.
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly, my mama let me stay home more than your mama did, or I didn't want to stay home.
Oh, I had to
school.
be sick. Oh, I got to,
don't know.
when I grew up and got to high school, I never wanted to, I hated leaving high school.
Now that's when I missed, and y'all know what I would do? I was so bad. My mama would go walking in the mornings, and before I would leave, I would take the phone. It was a phone this is awkward. That sat on the cradle like this. It had that, so it laid down like that, and you just picked it up and said hello like that. So you sat down like this. I would take it off just a little bit to the side, and remember the phone goes bop 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 like that for a while when you first take it off the hook. So I would do it right when she left to go walking, where it would quit making that busy signal, and then it looked like it was an accident that it was knocked off, and I would skip school. But I got because the school, I took it off the hook because the school would call to find out what was wrong with me, and so I didn't want them to get in touch with Mama. So I would take the phone off the hook. Sneakily, I never told her I used to do that, but I did get busted one day. My sister Julie was looking for me all over Baker, and she found me. So I didn't do that anymore after that.
But this is all when we were unregenerate.
Yes, I was.
We were lost people acting like lost people.
I was being bad.
Well, that's right, Susie. Kids don't know the tricks of yesterday.
Yeah, well, they can't
That's
do that now
we
with
didn't
cell
tell
phones. Yeah, no, my kids aren't listening. So, is Juan Pablo listening still?
Yeah.
Juan Pablo, don't you tell
Juan
my kids. Don't you tell them I did that.
Hey, and Juan Pablo's now going to find him a thermometer and practice.
Yeah.
But Juan Pablo doesn't skip school. He's like straight A student and
Sherry said you
winner
can put
and
a
all
penny in your
that.
mouth.
Ooh, I'd swallow it. I'm sure that's what I would
you know
do.
what Susan says that at their farmers market they're using chest freezers and generators. That's yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. And here's the thing. Here we are talking about breaking the rules as kids.
Yeah.
But we had to put away childish things when we became adults.
That's
and
right.
and when we became Christians. And I've spent 20 years in law enforcement, and we are rule followers. If it doesn't
That's right.
cause me to break one of the commandments of God, then we're going to adhere to it. And so we know that there are people who show up at Mississippi farmers markets doing things that the regulations don't allow.
Right.
And we know that we could probably do it. We could probably have a big ice chest in the back of the, plugged in the back of the truck, right? And just tell people, hey, come over here, let me show you something. And probably be fine. But you know what? Our conscience wouldn't be fine. And we can't put, we would never put Rebecca in that position.
No.
Rebecca, the market, she's the extension agent. You're the market manager. What do you call her?
I just say she started the market. She's over the market.
Yeah, she's over the whole thing, as the county extension agent. Mm-hmm. And of course, Patty's the market manager. How would that look? And so.
Yeah, I'm out here enforcing rules on other people, and I'm going to break them. That's
we can't do that.
Let me tell you this. Wait, I can't find it. Where'd it go? Wallace. He didn't put it in capital letters. Wallace Lake Homestead said that they rubbed poison ivy all over and even ate some. His brother had to go to the hospital.
Oh my goodness!
And he had to go to school.
Man, that's not wanting to go to school pretty doggone bad. Yeah, I don't. But you know what? As a kid, that wouldn't work for me because I was not allergic to poison ivy as a kid. I could rub it on me. I got some all on me one time, and nothing happened. And I don't know. Maybe I'm still not. Have I had poison ivy as an adult? Yeah, but I don't. But I don't tempt fate. You know.
I don't take it anymore, but I think it's because we drink the goat milk because it's supposed to help. They eat the poison ivy and stuff like that. So my kids really didn't have a hard time with it. A few of them have gotten it before. I think Chelsea, but she's the one that didn't want to drink the goat milk as much either. But anyway, hey Robbie.
Neighbor.
Yep.
Former neighbor.
Yeah,
Baker neighbor.
She knew me when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Being bad.
Boy, it's a good thing she just joined. She was telling us. Robbie probably knows all those stories.
No, she don't. She probably didn't know I was as bad as I was. She's got her own stories to tell about her and Julie. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But Julie had Daddy at home though. I wouldn't have done the things I did if Daddy would have still been alive.
Gosh, we got pictures we got to show.
I want to show y'all what I did for the farmers market.
This one here.
Yeah. I had some orders from Dr. K's office. Some of his what is Patty? Her the receptionist? I don't know, but there's a girl there named Patty also.
She's the brains behind the operation.
Yeah. She's Patty with a Y. I'm Patty with an I.
She had an I.
No, and she calls me the first Patty because she said she figured I was older than her. So anyway,
she is hilarious, y'all.
She's a hoot.
Oh, they're looking at this.
Yeah, she takes care of us. Anyway, the reason this is a long roll of cinnamon rolls, and this is a triple batch, and I've done this before and thought I'm never doing this again. This was too hard, but I went ahead and did it again because it is faster, and it really worked out pretty good. It's hard to roll it up when it's that long, when it's that big of a piece, but I did it anyway, and go ahead, you can switch it. But so I did it because they had ordered and everything, and I sold out of cinnamon rolls. I did sell out of them, so I was glad of that.
Tricia, I hope you didn't show Richard that. We don't want to cause him any angst. He's not supposed to eat that kind of stuff right now. So, sorry, Richard.
Richard, I get you some when you can eat it. Okay.
Yeah. What else?
Okay.
Let's show these. Hang on. Let me put this over here. This right here. We had a visitor for the weekend.
Yes, we got to see our little man. It's been a while since we got to see him.
Yeah, and he was loving on Toby right there. I think he had just got up or something. I don't remember.
I don't know.
And he's eating his blueberry pancakes.
Always has to have blueberry. He calls them blueberry pancakes. It's pancakes that I make blueberry syrup to go on
Yeah,
top.
it's not really blueberry pancake. Look at him with his long socks on too, y'all. He likes to wear them long socks, I think, because soccer players wear them. He pulls them up over his knees.
But Toby was so good, it was kind of bothering Tomas. I think he thought Toby was just going to charge his plate.
But he never does. Toby's
No.
so well-mannered. Toby is such a gentleman.
And that was my kid's little tray that Granny bought him.
Oh,
so.
yeah, and he's used that the last couple of trips. And
Yeah, he asked for it this time.
he loves his tray.
Yeah.
And he's...
Celeste says she needs a sample, I guess, of the cinnamon rolls.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We might can arrange that.
Yeah.
We might can arrange that. Let's see, what else? You got, we got...
Also, I've been busy picking beans, my green beans, and I also have filmed a video. Tommy will show you the picture. That's some of the green beans that I picked.
Louisiana purple hull?
Purple pod.
Louisiana purple pod.
Green beans.
Green beans.
I guess they're called string beans.
Snap beans.
Snap beans, yeah. And anyway, I actually picked. My sister Evie was here over the weekend, and I actually picked 5 gallons. And so she took 2 gallons, and I talked to the neighbors across the street because Tommy.
Best neighbor in the universe.
That's right, Tommy Nettles.
Tommy Nettles.
And Marilyn and Mandy, their daughter, and her husband Jamie. I called them and to see if they wanted some green beans because Tommy's really good. Tommy Nettles is really good. He's been sending over blueberries to me. I sent them over some squash, some squash, and I think his
and
yellow
some cucumbers.
And some cucumbers. I think his yellow squash should be coming in soon. And mine are squitting, so he'll probably be sending me some squash. So I sent them some green beans. He's not growing green beans this year. So anyway, it's nice to be able to do that back and forth. So
yeah.
But anyway, so I did do a video on canning the green beans, and so Tommy still has to edit that, right?
Yeah, I do have to edit that.
And I also...
I'll probably get that done this week.
If y'all ever have zucchini that gets way too big, and I guess it could be done with other squash, I don't know, I haven't tried it, but zucchini, it's like you blink your eyes sometimes and it's just huge, yeah. And some people sent some pictures, and they're just Jen from JM at the Nut House.
Yeah.
Hers, what's she, 6.8 pounds?
6 point something pounds and 18 inches long or whatever. And a friend of ours from Louisiana, a daughter of a friend of ours, who the daughter's a friend now, she commented on the photo. She says, "Huh, that's bigger than my daughter at birth."
At birth, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, he was funny, but let's see,
but
what
anyway,
else?
So that was what
Oh,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
about the video.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a recipe that my friend Therese Clark gave me. Oh, I was going to tell where that came from too. I asked her if she made it up, and she said she didn't. But she texted me because I mentioned her on the video. That's where I got the recipe from. She said, "You don't have to give me credit." What did she say?
No, she said you don't have to say my name on the video like you just did again.
Yeah. Oh, and I said her last name too.
You did the first time.
Oh, I did on the video?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, she said, oh, wait, let me read it to you. Where is it? No, it's down here. Up here. She said, "I just looked at your video. You didn't have to give my name. Now the zucchini paparazzi will never leave me alone." So she's just teasing. She don't care. But anyway, one thing that she told me that's not in the video, because we talked about this afterwards. I showed on the video how you peel the outside of the zucchini and then you cut it in half, and I used a spoon and scraped out the seeds, and then I cut the zucchini where it looked like little apple wedges. Therese said you can actually, instead of just cutting it in half, cut it in fourths. Then you can take a knife. I'm going to look at my hands. Look at my hands. Take a knife and you can just cut out the seeds like that, and it's a lot easier to get the seeds out.
And it does sound a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Although it's not like it was hard to get them out with the spoon.
Well, it takes some effort.
Oh.
But anyway, let's see. Where is it that...
When your fingers start bending. Y'all, I'm getting granny fingers. My mom had crooked fingers with big humps on them in that first joint right here, and they didn't hurt her, but I just noticed the other day my fingers are starting to bend at the end and starting to hump up. So,
My granny's.
and my sister, I'm 54, she's 70. Her fingers are still just as straight and pretty, and she must have got them from my dad. So I'm getting my mom's. See how it's bent like that? I'm not doing that, but it don't hurt. I mean, it's a little tender, but it doesn't.
That's what Granny said. They might be ugly, but they don't hurt.
Oh, Mom had huge.
Hers
I
were
mean,
big.
she looked like it. They were. I mean, huge knots. But she crocheted, and I mean, never slowed
She
up.
crocheted till almost the day she died.
Yeah.
Almost the
Almost
day
the day she died. She crocheted.
Yep.
So, whatever.
Yep. But Therese told me that she got that recipe out of the Wisconsin Homemakers Society cookbook, and she's also sold online at allrecipes.com. So, anyway, that's a little more information to pass along. But I did make the video. It's like mock apple crisp. You're gonna boil it in lemon juice and water. And then you strain that real good, and you add sugar and cinnamon.
Yep, it is posted. There's actually two of them. We did the first part of it live.
Yeah, we did live, and then
we edited the second part, and I put them together in a playlist. So they're on our channel. Yeah. Jackie Jenkins on Facebook says she just picked some of her zucchini today.
Oh, good. Sherry asked, I guess it's Sherry on here, that are the green beans tender, so the ones that she grew or not. Yes, they're tender. Now, I don't let mine get huge. Let me go get some. I have some right here. But I have let them sit out since yesterday. I forgot to put them in the fridge.
While they do that, I'll show everybody this. When I went to go pick up Tomas yesterday, he has started karate. And the deal there is they start swinging that thing at him, and if you block it, he keeps doing it. Well, Tomas is brand new at this, and the guy hit him with those pads on the first thing, and Tomas knew it was over, so he just plopped down. Boom. It was too funny. And let's see. Patty's not back yet, so I'll show you this.
Because I bring in some other stuff.
Oh, she's back already, so I'll just leave it. Go ahead. Uh-oh. Fumble.
That's my water. I didn't see that video. You didn't tell me you took any videos.
Well, that's all I took. That was just a short little thing.
Anyway, this is my green beans. And see, I mean, they're still a decent size, I mean, I picked that one too. But anyway, yeah, my green beans are tender, and they don't have, if you pick them young.
You got to hold them up where people can see what you're doing.
If you pick them, they don't have, they're not real stringy or anything. So I really like them. But look what else.
We don't ever have to, when they're picked at the normal time, even though they're called string beans, you don't have to peel the string off of them.
Yeah, you don't, unless you just let them get a little too big. My cherry tomatoes are starting to come in. This is the Golden Pearl, and here's black cherry coming in, and
yellow pear.
I always call this a golden pear. It's a yellow pear. They're good.
I think the yellow pear is my favorite.
Golden pearl, I think, is my favorite.
I don't know. Maybe it is a golden pearl.
Anyway,
but that's good. So
they're very good. So I'm gonna send some to Chelsea. She loves cherry tomatoes. I forgot to bring them today. So.
And I got a kick out of Patty did a live video from the garden the other day showing how it's just overrun with weeds and everything. And I got such a kick. So many people have commented on that video. I'm so glad you showed that. And I feel better about my garden now. And it's like yes. We had every intention of having an aesthetically appealing garden this year. And
it looked good for a while.
And it did. It looked great for a while, didn't it? But y'all, Alderman Farms, where life on the farm just got real. And here's what's real. Especially when you've got a full-time job that takes you away from the farm more at certain times, and when you're taking care of an elderly parent and you got this and that, things happen.
Yeah.
And what?
I barely have time with the farmer's market going on, picking the vegetables, putting the vegetables up, I don't know when I would weed.
Yeah.
And see, I can't get out in the heat of the day either, and I can't get out in the bright sun. So
right.
Yeah,
So,
I leave the weeding up to Tommy. It's his fault.
So we can either cry about it, or you can just
step on it
and go on. You know, and so
you
just step on it, grow on.
Yeah.
And they are, Susie. Cherry tomatoes are fine. Hey, Blake, John Michael.
Hey, John Michael.
My class president, y'all.
Blake. What was I say? Homestead the Pioneering Way said that they want a sample of everything, so that's great. Come on out to the market.
Yeah, come to the market. So
I am going to start selling my dip mixes online, though. I have, I don't know what remark this was, but Susan Sullivan said, I resemble that remark, Tommy. Resemble.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
Susan.
I had my chat moved, so.
My bad. All right, so remember that we hit a gold mine of golden chanterelle mushrooms, and they're still popping up everywhere. Every time I go out and turn around somewhere, I see another little patch of them.
Me too.
And so Chef Andy, who you guys have met from right here in Brookhaven at Betty's Eat Shop, is still supposed to be coming to get some. He's coming. I'm giving him a you pick 'em price of $10 a pound. Y'all, these things retail for $26 a pound. And so wholesale to restaurants and whatnot is $13. But I'm going to let Andy and Matt have them for $10 because he's going to come pick them. And he'll be responsible for cleaning them and all that kind of stuff. But another chef friend of ours that you guys haven't met, but we actually sort of knew him, I think, before. Now, Cameron's known Andy for a long time.
I think you might have known Andy on Facebook.
Yeah, but as far as meeting and all that. But
really
Chef Nick Wallace at in Jackson at the Mississippi Museum of Art has a restaurant inside there. And so I told Nick, hey, man, you want some? Or I just asked him, I think I was asking him about prices. I don't remember. But he said, I want 5 pounds.
He did.
I said, man, do you really? He said, yeah. So I had to run him up there, and I had to hurry up and get them all done. I was worried about how they would look because it's not hard to clean. I mean, it's not easy to clean them.
No.
It's painstaking to try not to destroy the mushrooms, you know. And one time I texted him, I said, how clean do they have to be? You know, and he said fairly, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, you know. So I just kind of got the worst of it off, and they were pretty clean. And took them up there, and he said, I'm going to put y'all in SIP sourced. He does, I don't remember if it's once a month. I think it may be once a month. He does this thing called SIP sourced, apostrophe SIPP, which is short for Mississippi, sourced, where he does a menu with locally grown stuff, you know. And so
he's done our pork before.
Yeah, so he said, I'll add you guys. So you see us right there on the top line. This is on his announcement of the SIP source for the month. And he posted this picture on Instagram, and you can just see on the right side of the picture in that Walmart bag, because all I did, I put 2.5 pounds each in a Walmart bag, in 2 Walmart bags, and carried them up there. And he said they looked great, and he was tickled to death. And so that's just neat, you know. He featured our mushrooms in some fabulous dish. That rascal can cook.
Yeah,
man.
he can cook. I have a couple of things. North Dakota Pink asked, could you add more sugar to the mock apple crisp, the zucchini? And yes, she's asked if it would turn them, or would it turn to mush. I think you could. I would just do like maybe a 1/4 a cup increments and see how it tastes to you, and see how that is. But I definitely think you could add more sugar to it. But remember, when you put a topping on it, it's going to be sweet too. So anyway, and let's see. Susan Sullivan was talking about the crooked knotty fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, crooked knotty fingers. And
Jackie Jenkins says life is what happens while you're making other plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
And Jay Mary says, those nuts, Tommy, those nuts, did you get some?
Oh, you're talking about the nuts we found? Well, we're almost 100% positive they're hickory nuts, because we did. It's kind of hard because of where the tree is that we think they came from. There's other trees growing up, and it's kind of hard to see the leaves, but we're almost positive that they're hickory nuts. We're just going to wait till later and see what develops as they mature.
Oh, and Mr. Ani says that, you know, weeds are a sign of a healthy garden.
Well, our garden is healthy.
That's his excuse. Well, that's right. I mean, you know, we don't want to. we want our ground to be able to grow weeds because that means we'll be able to grow vegetables too. But it's a little out there this year. I really do want to get some of the weeds out of the green beans because I'm hoping to be able to pick them until frost.
Yeah.
And
we had them a long time last year.
Yeah. Well, remember we let the chickens in because the green beans looked so. Remember the cow got in there and all that stuff and messed everything up.
Yeah.
So we let the chickens. Happens. Yeah. But we've got hot wire around it now. That's not hot, by the way. But
she don't know that.
There. That's right. She don't know. We didn't tell her. Anyway, I figured the chickens would dig up the snap bean vines and all that. Well, they didn't. And when it started cooling off, they started putting on snap beans again. So I got to have some fresh snap beans last fall.
Hey, we're out of time.
Okay.
Let me tell you all this right quick. If you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/groups or just search for, that's right, just go to the search bar and search for Friends of Alderman Farms. That's our closed little group. And as of this screenshot, there's 138 members in there. And we would love to have you. And we're not really doing a whole lot with it right now, but eventually we'll probably do some special videos in there and whatnot. So we'd love to have you. Go to Facebook and find us. Search for Friends of Alderman Farms. And of course, one more thing, and we're already over time, but we gotta remind you why we do what we do. And we want to encourage you, as 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, that whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. And I may not have reminded you in a while, but that little word "all" there, that last word in red on the bottom, you know what the word "all" in the original Greek means?
What could that mean?
All. But Larry, one of our preachers in Louisiana, he used to say all in the Greek means all. So everything you do, you should be doing it to the glory of God. And He's worthy of it, and He's a good Father. It's a great day to think about how good of a Father He is. And our pastor talked about the story of the prodigal son, and it's a picture in the story of the prodigal son, among other things, about the radical love of our Heavenly Father as displayed. One of these days, I need to stop because I'm finna start preaching. But one of these days, I'm gonna talk to you about the picture of the Father in the prodigal son, and let you know some things about how the scribes and the Pharisees likely reacted to that story as Jesus was telling, because they were shaking their heads and they were just in shock that son would act that way, but also that father would act that way.
Yeah.
And y'all, that father took the shame of his son, and our Father took our shame upon Himself, and that's an amazing thing. Thank y'all so much. Those of you on Facebook, we appreciate you.
Yes,
and
thank y'all.
our YouTube folks for being here. We still just can't get over it that you come and hang out with us and care anything about what we have to say, and we do appreciate it very, very much. And we'll see you next time. See you next Sunday, and probably before.
Yes. Before.
Thanks. Have a good night.